Hey guys, this is the Coding Chronicles, and in today's video we'll create and run our first Angular project. I have a folder in which we'll create our project. We are using Angular CLI for creating a new Angular application, and in order to use Angular CLI commands, we need to use command prompt or a terminal. The Visual Studio Code has an integrated terminal. To access this, we need to go to View and select the terminal option. This opens the integrated terminal inside the Visual Studio Code. To create an Angular application, we need to run the command ng new followed by the project name. We are going to use hello-world. This takes a few minutes to complete, and when it is completed, you will have a folder which is named as hello-world. Now open the project folder using the command cd space hello-world and then run the command ngserve. When we get the compiled successfully message back from the webpack, we can open the browser and go to localhost 4200. Here we can see some HTML from the Angular application that we just created. With this, we have created and run our very first Angular application, that too using Angular CLI commands. Now let's take a look on a high level the architecture and execution flow of any basic Angular applications. Modules are the building blocks in an Angular application. Hence, we can say that Angular is modular in nature. An Angular application is a collection of one or more modules that can be imported or exported. Each module represents a feature area in the application. For example, we can have different modules such as a user module for application users and an admin module for admin users. Every Angular application has at least one module which is called the root module, and by default this is named as app module. Each module is made up of a number of components and services. A component represents a portion of the UI. For example, we can have different components in the same screen, one for navigation, sidebar, and one for content. An Angular application by default will have a root component. This is called the app component. All the other components are nested inside the root component. Each component contains an HTML template and a class to control the logic of the particular view. A module will also contain services, which are classes where the business logic is maintained. The module and components contain more elements, but we'll discuss each in detail in another video. So to summarize the architecture, an Angular app contains one or more modules. Each module contains one or more components and services. Each component is a combination of HTML template and a class that controls the logic for the particular view. Services are those which contain the business logic. The modules are exported and imported so that they could interact with each other and finally get rendered in the browser. Now let's open the Visual Studio Code in the project folder hello-world. The project folder contains a lot of files which are generated by the Angular CLI, and I am going to go through some of the main files that we will be using at this stage. The first one is the package.json file. This contains the dependencies and dev dependencies, which are basically the libraries required for an Angular application to work. The packages listed here are installed when we run the command ng new hello-world, and all the packages are installed inside the node modules folder. This file also contains some script which we can use for various purposes. For example, the ngserve command runs the application, and we can also use the npm start, which is in turn running the command ngserve. Next is the source folder where the main coding happens. In the source folder, we have a main.ts file which acts as the entry point to the Angular application. We also have an app folder which contains the app.module.ts, which is the root module, and also app.component.ts, which is the root component. When we run the command ngserve to start our application, the execution comes to main.ts file. Here, the app module is bootstrapped. In an app module, we in turn bootstrap the app component. This is known as Angular bootstrapping. The app component has two parts, the HTML template and the class to control the view logic. We have the HTML template here and the class which contains the logic here. In the TypeScript class, we have a property called title, which is a string. And in the template, we have welcome to title. So at runtime, this title will be replaced with the value from this TypeScript class. We also have some other HTML elements in the view. Now let's try to change the property title from app to the coding chronicles and save the page. Now open the browser and we can see that the browser has automatically refreshed and now it says welcome to the coding chronicles. So this is basically how an Angular application is loaded. First, the main.ts file is loaded, which loads the app module, which is in turn loading the app component, where the property title in the TypeScript class is loaded in the HTML template. And this is rendered in the browser. Here, components play a major role in the view. So in the next couple of videos, we'll be looking into details of the components. Thank you.